know why I'm not having an aneurysm over people losing their food stamps on November 1st? Here's why.
Come grocery shop because it go by faster.
I should not have to pay to feed you and your 9 children. I'll be the selfish one. My kid comes first in my eyes, not you.
I would take a third job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a third job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have?
And coming for black women, no. You just make yourself look stupid. She got SNAP, EBT, and a degree, huh?
Katt Williams is trending again, and this time it's not about him exposing the industry or roasting another comedian. Nah, this time he's going off on a whole new level. Katt's clapping back at a bunch of so-called white Karens who've been running wild online, celebrating the idea that black women are about to lose their food stamps. Yeah, it's gotten that messy. Ever since the word got out that Trump's administration is cutting down on federal food aid, social media has turned into a circus. Videos are everywhere. Karens posting clips saying things like, "Good, get a job," or "I don't want to pay for your kids," and while showing videos of black women talking about food stamps.
I don't want to see nobody on here complaining about food stamps that was posting beach pictures and new tattoos all summer, okay? Thank you.
It's cruel, it's twisted, and it's got Katt heated, for real. But here's where the facts destroy their whole narrative. Most people cashing in on SNAP, that's the government food assistance program, are actually white. Yep, that's right. White folks make up the biggest share of food stamp users, and yet somehow, black families are the ones getting dragged through the mud. Make that make sense. See, what these Karens don't get is that food insecurity ain't a color thing. It's a national struggle. SNAP doesn't just help one group. It supports seniors trying to stretch a fixed income, disabled folks just trying to get by, veterans who fought for the country, and working families who bust their backs but still can't afford both rent and groceries. This is about survival, not laziness. And Katt Williams wasn't going to stay quiet about it. He's the type to use his platform to call out hypocrisy loud and clear. While these Karens laugh online, real families are out here stressing about how they're going to feed their kids next month. That's not a joke. That's reality. Now let's get to the core of what's really happening.
1 in 8 Americans rely on SNAP benefits, and tonight there is mounting worry for them. They might not be able to afford food with money running out 1 week from today.
Starting November 2025, millions of Americans are expected to lose their SNAP benefits, the same program people depend on to eat. Why? Because Congress still hasn't approved funding while the government's stuck in a shutdown mess. And now the USDA, the folks who run the program, claim they can't legally issue benefits for November without approval. But that's cap. They can use emergency funds to keep things going. They're just choosing not to. Even the USDA's own shutdown plan says they're guaranteed to have funds available to keep the program running. So ask yourself, why aren't they doing it? Maybe because the people making those decisions don't have to worry about missing a meal this holiday season. Whether Democrat or Republican, the folks in Congress are going to eat just fine, but millions of everyday Americans won't. And here's the crazy part. SNAP supports 42 million Americans. That's 1 in every 8 people in the country. And guess what? Most of them are children.
Why don't these people on SNAP just work? I don't understand. My guy, most of the people who are on SNAP are children. According to 2023 fiscal analysis, it made up 39% of the people on SNAP. That's 12 million children.
That's who these cuts are hurting the most. Kids. And here's what most people still don't get. Food insecurity isn't just some personal problem. It's a national crisis that hits everyone, whether you're on food stamps or not. When millions of people can't afford enough food, it doesn't just hurt those families. It shakes the whole economy. This isn't just about who's eating or not eating. It's about how the system keeps people struggling while the rich get richer. When kids go hungry, they can't focus in school. That means lower grades, fewer opportunities, and a weaker workforce later on. When grown folks can't get the nutrition they need, they get sick more often. Even small businesses take a hit when people don't have money to spend on groceries. Stores lose income, prices go up, and the cycle keeps spinning. It's a whole chain reaction. Meanwhile, food banks are drowning trying to fill in the gaps. Shelves are running empty, volunteers are stretched thin, and the lines are getting longer every single week. And let's be real, it's not because we don't have enough resources in this country. Nah, it's about where the money's going. Right now, Over 47 million Americans, including nearly 14 million children, are struggling with food insecurity. That's almost the population of Spain going hungry, right here in the so-called richest country in the world. And yet there are 902 billionaires in America worth a combined $6.8 trillion. The problem ain't lack of food, it's the insane wealth gap keeping people down.
The US is one of the wealthiest nations in the world. It ranks first based on total GDP and seventh based on GDP per capita. Yet when it comes to food security, America ranks 22nd among developed countries. 33.8 million Americans didn't have adequate access to food, according to the latest report from the USDA. That's 13.5 million, or 10.2% of all US households in 2021.
I literally stand on 2nd Avenue at 4 o'clock in the morning and go around behind the restaurants and wait for the bakeries to deliver bread. When you're that hungry to steal bread from the restaurants behind the stores, you're hungry.
And here's the kicker. SNAP helps a racially and economically diverse group of people. The Food Research and Action Center says around 37% of SNAP recipients are white, 26% are black, and the rest are Hispanic, Asian, Native American, or multiracial. But the internet loves to push one image, a black woman complaining about food stamps. 9 times out of 10, that video going viral, it's not even real.
They cutting our food stamps off next week. And that's the only way I've been able to keep the kids fed and the lights on. Y'all see that sign behind me? If they really take it, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do but go in there and grab what we need. People keep telling me to go apply.
It's an AI-generated clip made to stir outrage. Yeah, they're literally using fake videos to make real people look bad. So when you scroll online and see someone saying, they're cutting our food stamps, what we gonna do? Don't be fooled. A lot of those voices aren't real people at all. They're computer-generated imitations made to push a racist narrative. And Katt Williams knows this. He sees how these fake videos are being used to make black women the face of laziness, while hiding the truth that poor white families are the biggest group depending on SNAP. This whole setup is about manipulation, keeping people angry at each other instead of at the system that's starving them both. So yeah, while social media is blowing up with hate and misinformation, the real issue is being buried under lies. This isn't about race, it's about survival. But guess who's getting blamed every single time? You already know. There are millions of these videos floating around online, all designed to trick people into thinking it's real folks complaining about losing benefits. These fake clips are turning social media into a war zone. You got white Karens out here clapping, laughing, and celebrating like they just won something. They're posting comments like, good, maybe now they'll get a job and I'm tired of paying for their kids, without realizing most food stamp recipients are white working families barely holding it together. The irony is insane. One woman on TikTok even went viral after she posted a video cheering about food stamps getting cut. She was so proud of herself until the internet tore her up in the comments. People came for her with facts, charts, and receipts. They called her out for spreading ignorance, and the backlash got so bad she ended up deleting the video entirely.
This message is for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money? What'd you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? By the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries. You better figure it out. I'm sick of hearing you complain, honestly. You ever have this as a meal? I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman that said she was getting $1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I could make $1,100 in food stamps last in this house? There's 2 of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a 3rd job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a 3rd job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account.
Well, I don't know, Sarah Meth. Perhaps they spent October's food stamps in October? Like, what the George Bush, you will pay for your crimes because these children should have been left behind, but unfortunately, they weren't. And now they're adults with access to the internet and total use of free will. I'm gonna start calling this the J-Lo theory. Whenever you give people full unmonitored access to something, whether it be a mic, a phone, social media, whatever it is, and total use of free will, they will use that thing regardless of if it sounds good or if it makes a lick of sense. This is what Trump means when he says smart people don't like me, because what do you mean she made this video in regard to November food stamps, asking what people did with their October food stamps?
That's how fast misinformation backfires when real numbers hit the timeline. But let's give credit where it's due. Not all of social media is toxic. Some people are actually trying to educate others about what's really going on. Journalists, activists, and creators are stepping up to say, yo, this isn't just about one group, it's about all of us. Because once SNAP gets cut, it doesn't just hit one community, it hits the entire working class.
Government assistance that brings out the racism in people. Most SNAP recipients are white women. She loves to give the white working class a sense of superiority over black people. Every dollar spent in the SNAP program leads to $1.50 returning to the economy. It also creates consumers out of people who, that helps everybody who works in the store, everybody who delivers to that store, everybody who relies on that store, because if you subtract a significant portion of that store's consumers, a significant portion of the consumers to the economy who happen to be working class people who are getting their money from SNAP, then the store will have to raise its prices. If you remove a bunch of consumers, the store will have to raise its prices, and that will make life harder for you, white lady. I know you think that black woman is just taking from you, but what she is inadvertently doing.
And you know who else had something to say? D.L. Hewley. He jumped in too, going off on the MAGA crowd for spreading lies and pretending food benefits are only for black folks. He called them out for pushing this lazy stereotype while ignoring that these cuts will affect their own families, their own neighborhoods, and their own kids. He said what a lot of people were scared to admit.
So it isn't just hurting the people you want. More of you, more of his supporters, more people that wanted him to win, more people that are supportive of him will be hurt than other people. That word disproportionately ain't gonna matter when you're freezing and cold. As a matter of fact, if the heating subsidies are not renewed, and if SNAP benefits out there around Thanksgiving, there won't have been this many cold and hungry white people since the Pilgrims landed here. Since Plymouth Rock. And this time, ain't gonna be no Indians to bail you out.
Now, this is where Katt Williams really stepped into the spotlight. The man didn't hold back, not even for a second. He clapped back at Karen's mocking black women, reminding everyone that the people who will feel these cuts the hardest aren't just black families. It's the same working class Americans who think they're somehow above needing help. Katt turned the mirror right back on them, and it stung. He said in his usual sharp-tongued style that mocking others while you're one missed paycheck away from the same struggle is pure hypocrisy. It's not about color, it's about control and distraction. While the rich are stacking trillions, folks online are fighting over food stamps that barely cover a week's worth of groceries. Madness. This whole thing just shows how fast fake videos and bad takes can turn people against each other.
And coming for black women, no. You just make yourself look stupid. The black woman is the most educated person in the United States of America by 27%, bitch. She got SNAP, EBT, and a degree, huh?
Have you ever noticed how, whenever news channels cover topics like food stamps or poverty, they almost always show black people? Isn't that wild? Like every time there's talk about government aid, the cameras magically find a black mother or a black family at the grocery store. It's not random, it's intentional. That's how media keeps pushing this same tired stereotype over and over again. And this is exactly what Katt Williams was calling out. He said this food stamp conversation is just another example of how racism gets built into the system. It convinces people to see enemies where there should be allies. Instead of realizing that everyone's being played, people start blaming each other. That's how they keep folks divided, while the real ones responsible sit back and watch it unfold like a movie. Those fake AI videos of black women complaining about food stamps, That's not just some random internet trend, that's strategy. Someone knows exactly what they're doing when they spread those clips. They're trying to manipulate how people think. And if you think that's a reach, check this. Conservative lawyer Mike Davis, the same guy rumored to be one of Trump's picks for Attorney General, tweeted something absolutely wild. He wrote, quote, "We should only help people who can't help themselves. It's outrageous. 40 million people get food stamps. Get off your fat ghetto A. Get a job. Stop reproducing. Change your culture. Stop giving food stamps to immigrants. We don't want you here if you won't work," end quote. That's what he said in public. Fat ghetto A? Change your culture? What culture is he even talking about? We all know exactly what that means. They love to toss in the word immigrant to sound political, but when you read between the lines, he's talking about American citizens, plain and simple. The part where he says, "Stop reproducing," that's the same crowd that claims to be pro-life. The contradiction is unreal. Katt Williams, D.L. Hughley, and a lot of other voices have been saying the same thing. This isn't about saving money or fixing the system. It's about keeping people divided through coded language, racism, and lies. When someone says, "Change your culture," what they really mean is, "We don't like you existing in this space." That's the message hidden behind all this policy talk. But here's what's really funny. The same people cheering for these cuts are about to find out the hard way that it's going to hit them too. Because when SNAP runs dry, it's not just cities that'll feel it. Small towns, rural communities, and trailer parks are going to feel that pain real quick. Katt Williams warned everyone. The system doesn't care who you vote for. It only cares about control. Let's really dig into this. When Mike Davis dropped that tweet saying, "Fat ghetto ass," and "change your culture," Katt Williams and everyone paying attention knew exactly what was up. Those words weren't random insults. They were coded attacks. That phrase, "change your culture," is straight up loaded. What culture is he even talking about? Because when people like him say that, they're not referring to American culture. They're targeting black and brown folks, no question about it. And let's not forget, he added "stop reproducing" in the same sentence. But wait, these are the same people who call themselves pro-life, right? The hypocrisy is crazy. Katt Williams didn't stay silent about this. He went off, pointing out how these kinds of statements expose the ugly truth behind all that political talk. They pretend it's about saving taxpayer money, but it's really about controlling who gets empathy in this country. Hunger doesn't care about skin color. When that grocery money runs dry and shelves start emptying, everyone's gonna feel it. And that's what Katt was screaming from the rooftops. This isn't just about race. This is about class, about who gets left behind while billionaires keep eating good every day. And you know what else is wild? The people celebrating these cuts are the ones who'll be begging for those benefits next. One bad month, one lost job, one medical emergency, and boom, they're in the same line they were laughing at. Life hits hard, and Katt Williams wasn't afraid to remind them of that harsh truth. He said it plain. They got you mad at your reflection. That line hit deep because it's real. The system got folks fighting over crumbs instead of demanding the whole loaf. Instead of realizing they've all been played, they're busy reposting memes and fake videos made by people who'll never go hungry a day in their lives. And the worst part? The government shutdown still hasn't been fixed, and the people in charge keep pointing fingers while doing nothing. Meanwhile, families are just trying to survive. Moms, dads, and kids who did nothing wrong are now facing empty fridges because politicians would rather argue than act. This isn't just a policy issue anymore. This is survival. Katt Williams, D.L. Hughley, and even everyday people online are calling it what it is: cruelty dressed up as politics. A former U.S. worker dropped one of the coldest comments that summed up everything perfectly. They wrote, quote, "Let November roll around, and those poor white people don't get a SNAP check, and we'll find out how hungry you have to be to stop being racist." Hunger don't care about who you voted for, what flag you wave, or what color you are. When that stomach growls, it levels the playing field fast. And that's the point Katt Williams and others are trying to drive home. The government keeps pushing these cuts like it's no big deal, but when those checks stop coming, by turning neighbors into enemies, while billionaires stack another trillion on top. And the sad part, the numbers don't lie. Statistically, white Americans are the majority of SNAP recipients, yet black families keep getting painted as the face of welfare. It's a recycled lie that keeps people blind to the truth, that poverty is hitting every corner of this country. The media loves to push stereotypes because division sells better than unity. So here's the question: are these SNAP cuts just bad management, or is it something darker? A deliberate plan to fuel racism, keep people desperate, and shift blame onto those already struggling? Because when you look closely, it's the same old trick. Keep the people fighting each other so they never fight back against the system. Katt Williams ain't new to this. He's been calling out injustice for years, and this time, he's reminding everyone to wake up before it's too late. The truth hurts, but it's what we need to hear. Food insecurity isn't about laziness. It's about survival in a broken system. Maybe that's when people will finally see the bigger picture and realize that unity, not division, is the only way out of this mess. So, what do you think? Is this whole thing just government chaos, or are they really trying to pit people against each other again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this conversation alive, because the truth deserves to be heard loud and clear. This is Street Fame Files, and we'll catch you in the next one.